Boy, it's all about safety. That was the answer of my father when I told him, I don't go to university, I will become a juggler. Do you have children? So what would be your reaction to ideas like that? This is how enthusiasm looks like, huh? But I made it. I went to Berlin Circus School, and right now you're watching a state-certified circus artist. Yeah. Probably I'm the only one in the room with a serious profession. Maybe my father was right, and it is all about safety, but not in the way we usually think, and I will show you why. Do you have to juggle in your daily life too? I guess you juggle on the one hand with your private life, with a demanding partner, with strong-willed children, with a weird neighbor, with special friends, with all the chat groups you have to give answer to. And the other hand, you juggle your business life with confusing emails, urgent deadlines, colleagues who love to talk, and all over you juggle with limited time, energy, money, and a constant stream of new juggling balls flying your way. And how does it look like? I hope you have lots of days like this, where everything runs really nice and it's well structured and you say, hey, this is really easy. But do you also know days like that? Where everything spins quite fast around, things go up and down and back and forth at the same time. It looks really chaotic, but we try to get a grip on all the relevant stuff. Do you know days like that? So welcome to the juggler's world. So you're living in a circus too, huh? I was really lucky because right after circus school I got a great job, and not only that, I was invited to Paris to participate in the International Circus Festival. I won prizes, came back and was the newcomer. My pipeline was really full, and now I can reveal it. You can make a living out of that. Yeah, I earned really good money. I threw it out with both hands. What else is the sense of being a juggler? I mean, if I can juggle one thing the same good than juggling balls, it's credit cards. I thought, hey, what can happen to me? And then the Iron Curtain fell. Suddenly, incredibly well-trained artists from circus schools, Moscow, Kiev, St. Petersburg, came to the European market, and suddenly they were the newcomers. And the thing is, they don't start it with 16, they start at age of 6. The nerds amongst them, they juggle already prenatal while balancing on the umbilical cord. And suddenly Victor got the job juggling his 7 juggling balls, or Natalia with her hula hoop act, even though her costume is very much less than mine. And I had to ask myself, how do I get back into business? How do I get my customers back? What can I do? I expanded my portfolio then. I made another juggling act. The thing is, you don't just pull it out your sleeve, you know, I'm not a magician. This is 2 or 3 years rehearsing at least 2 hours a day. But it worked. In the end, I had 2 juggling acts. I sold them for the price of 1.5. So orders came in, pipeline filled, and I leaned back and said, Andy, everything all right. And it worked for a while. And then there was a next market change. Do you know Cirque du Soleil? Okay, I have to admit it's not my direct competitor, but Soleil made circus attractive again, so lots of young people all over the world want to become a circus artist. And Soleil picks out one talent at the time. And all the others? In the mid-2000s, the competition grew really hard, and then it was all made over the price. At this time, I already had family, so it's not only about having fun. I remember my wife, she was standing in front of me and she said, you know, Andy, basically, I like you. But what about an ad, successful juggler mows your lawn? I had to ask myself if I can afford it to go on working on stage. And if I want to do so, what options do I have? Where is the niche? I rehearsed like a lunatic. I think I had 2 years, sore muscles. Sometimes I woke up in the morning and I caught myself already juggling. But I managed then to expand my stage time to 45 minutes. And then I could go to the American cruise ships. They call it flying entertainer. You fly there, make your show, fly to the next vessel, to the next, and then someone back home. In this time, I realized something which is really important. And I think it gets even more important year by year. When we think we feel safe, this is always an illusion. Safety is an illusion. When we think we feel safe because we finished our studies, we got a great job, we are married, the kids are fine, our wife doesn't know our part-time lover, because we are market leader with happy customers and no complaints. When we think we are safe, we always lean back, slow down our development. We don't realize that everything around us keeps moving. And the next thing we realize is the abyss, the big hole behind us opening. Safety is an illusion. It's not carved in stone. But we need safety. And so the question is, where does new safety come from? I want to introduce you an idea from behavioral biology. Felix von Kube developed this basic idea, and I put it in a nutshell for you. We are living in a safety circle. It starts here. It ends exactly over here. So inside this circle is our daily life happening. Here's our private life, our business life, our network. It's not only comfortable in here, so because here is only also the weird neighbor, the quirky mother-in-law. It's not the comfort zone, but we've arranged everything in here. We feel safe in here. You could say also this is our horizon of experience. So what is outside here? Outside here are things we don't know. They are risky, they are dangerous. It's the unknown. So we better stay inside here. What's happening on that side? On that side, there is market change happening. There is competition. There's suddenly this 15-year-old juggler with 20 years experience. Here's innovation, Here is coming artificial intelligence with the agents who can research and make decisions much faster than us, and they do it 24/7. Here is digital transformation, where you just discover that without a credit card and a mobile phone, you don't even get a cup of coffee anymore. Here is new technologies sneaking in. Like, for example, do you know how many steps you made already today? Yeah, so you see, not everybody. And here is the next generation also coming in with their own cringe language where you understand only parts of it. And so all this is chipping away our safety area. And when you stand inside here, you have the feeling, oh, now it's getting tight. I hope you don't know the feeling. If you want to produce it artificially, just go to a shop and say, I would like to order a CD. Yeah. And if it's getting tight, we have the deep-seated need, a biological urge to expand our safety to a normal level. And now we have two possible ways to go. Either we go this way. So we are against everything that scratches our safety. So we are against the new software because the old one is working and Excel sheets are great. We are against participating in any trainings because in my age, with my experience, this is really weird. We are against new devices because they make everything more complicated. We are against everything. I don't know if it works, but lots of people give it a try. They want to go back to the good old times. And as far as I know, nobody managed to turn back the wheel of time until now. And actually, let's be honest. Do we really want to go back to a time without smartphones, without heated seats in the car, without a dishwasher? Okay, we can talk about the spiral cutter for vegetable noodles, yes. Actually, no. So we have to orientate ourselves towards this if we want to have more safety. But what is here? Here is dangerous. Here it's unknown. It's insecurity. So now the price question. How can you transform the unknown into the known? By getting to know it. Every time you learn something new, it's not new anymore. Every time you solve a problem, it's no problem anymore. Every time you step out your safety zone, the safety zone grows. So you could say, the risk of today becomes the safety of tomorrow. If you take only one sentence out of this talk, take this one. Today's risk will be tomorrow's safety. This is a paradox. It means the safer you want to feel in your life, the earlier you have to go out and learn something new, even if it means to risk something. No risk, no safety. So my father was right. It is all about safety. But safety doesn't come from avoiding risk. Safety comes from mastering risks. I spoke about the CD. You know, the CD, it came in the 80s. Then people stood here and said, I have my record. Then CDs were normal, standard. Now they are old school. Still some people say, I have my records. Video conferencing. It came in 2050, only something for the IT department, you know. Now it is standard. What will be in 5 years? Holograms? Do I have to clean up my whole office then? On the other hand, we have to let things go on that side. We have to let go the Excel lists. We have to let go paper forms. We have to let go the wish to plan everything ahead. I mean, there's nothing worse than being an expert in something that no longer matters, like selling CDs. So this idea comes from biology. And in little children, you can see it. There's this 3-year-old child, and they take an apple and a really big, sharp knife, and they want to cut the apple. And what do the adults do? Maybe it's a bit early, you know. But if we keep stopping them all the time, they break into sweat when they are 40 years and they want to cut an apple into slices. So our safety is the result of our past risks. Or think about flying. I mean, it started with some guys jumping from rooftops, you know, with something they called wings. Hey, I really know what the neighbors spoke about them. And I would love to know if their wives asked them too to get a real job. But you know, only because of them, we can fly now to holidays over the clouds, watch movies completely relaxed. So our standard, our normality, is the result of past risk takers. OECD made a labor study and they found out that in 10 years, like 7 to 9% of all jobs are lost over here. We speak about photo labs, about copy shops, about music stores. A lot of jobs are lost here. But in the same time, the same amount of jobs is created over here. Here is artificial AI trainings, cloud architects, social media content creator. 10 years ago, it wasn't there. So what's your next step? Who of you has already tried to juggle with 3 juggling balls? Just give me a second. And how did it work? Just imagine I teach you how to juggle, but instead of 3 juggling balls, I give you raw eggs. What would you learn, except wiping the floor? Here you see it immediately. No mistakes, no progress, especially in juggling, unless you love scrambled eggs. So if you want to go for development, if you want to feel safe somewhere, you have to give yourself the permission to try and to fail. And then somewhere, it will work. And the earlier you give yourself the permission to try, the faster you grow. Because safety needs development. I mean, probably we all know that we need development, and probably this is also the reason why you are watching this. But when we think about development, we ask ourselves, is it the right moment? Do I have the right tools? Is the weather fine enough? Do I have the right people around me, the right mindset? And while we are thinking, we do nothing. Henry Ford said, there are more people to surrender than those who fail. And surrender does not mean to give up. Surrender means to say, to do business as usual, to hope that the problem will solve by itself. To surrender means to say, oh, this is not my cup of tea. In 5 years, I'll be retired anyway. To surrender means to stare into the headlight like a deer and then be surprised when it crashes. But you know, when we think about development, it's all over the first step. And if we decide to do the first step, we will learn something. And this learning we can apply already for the next step. And we will learn something again. And so step by step, we get a little smarter, a little cleverer, a little bit more skilled. And if we then manage to keep our head involved, then suddenly things become possible you haven't thought before. And this is the moment the first colleagues and friends come, watch over the shoulder and ask, hey, how do you get a grip on all this crazy stuff? And you say, you know, actually it was just one step after another. I made my way from a juggler to a speaker. It was not a straight way, but I love it. It's really cool. My wife doesn't ask me anymore to get a real job. I feel really safe for the next 3 months. So, but what about you? What would you like to learn? Where would you like to feel safer? What is your next step? Think about juggling. Theory alone doesn't make a difference. If you want to learn something, you have to go into the risk, because today's risk is tomorrow's safety. No risk, no safety. And the question is, which risk are you willing to take to create your future?